As the leaves turn and the kids go back to school, we know it's time to talk about one thing. It's time to talk about football. And if we're talking college football, we must be talking about the Southeastern Conference, right? We couldn't be talking about the Pac-12, not the conference that in 4 short years would have not won a national championship in over 2 decades. The days of Pete Carroll and Reggie Bush are long gone. But it's not like California and the West Coast doesn't have any talent. As this video is being recorded, California has 4 teams in the top 14 in the nation in high school football. And if you add Bishop Gorman from Nevada as a West Coast school, the West Coast has 5 teams in the top 14. No other area has that. So what's the problem? The problem is recruiting, the lifeblood of college football. If you can't recruit, you can't be big time. And the Pac-12 is quickly finding that out. The SEC has kicked down the gates of the Western region. For years, the Pac-12 was able to keep a fence around many of their top prospects. Those days are no longer with us. It truly is a travesty that recruiters from the Big 12, the Big 10, and the SEC have been able to come behind West Coast enemy lines and steal the most prized possessions of some of these college football recruiters in the Pac-12. And the Pac-12 is now starting to feel the financial pinch as well. Take a look at the most high-paid college coaches in the country. You have to go down all the way to number 18 to get to Brian Shaw before you get a West Coast coach. So the best coaches are also leaving the West Coast. And if you look at NIL deals, which are name, image, and likeness deals for some of these athletes, it tremendously sways towards athletes in the middle of the country and down south. If you look at some of the TV contracts for some of these major conferences, ESPN, Fox, all of these conferences are showing their preference. They all choose the SEC first. So the question is, what can the Pac-12 do before it is totally knocked out of the ring? Well, that is a question for the guys who make the big bucks in the Pac-12. The commissioner and all of his people have to figure this out. And of course, the college football recruiters. But it should be no surprise. The Pac-12 region losing star athletes to other conferences isn't anything new. However, what is new is the mass exodus of talent at one particular position. Come on, there is one position in football that we all know is more important than the others by light years. That position is quarterback. Take a look at the preseason 2021 rankings for college football. Number 1 is Alabama, number 2 is Oklahoma, number 3 is Clemson, number 4 is Ohio State, and number 5 is Georgia. You may be surprised to know that all 5 of these programs, you guys, have West Coast quarterbacks. Bryce Young is from California with Alabama. Spencer Rattler is from Arizona with Oklahoma. DJ Uiagalelei is from California with Clemson. CJ Stroud is from California with Ohio State. And JT Daniels is from California with Georgia. None of these quarterbacks elected to play on the West Coast. And granted, we'll give you a mulligan. JT Daniels initially was with USC and then decided to go to Georgia after he lost his position due to injury. However, I don't see USC at the top of this list. So, there is the Pac-12's problem. Stop letting your most prized possession go outside of your region. If I was the commissioner of the Pac-12, if I was the recruiters in the Pac-12, there would almost be a pact that we do not let the top quarterbacks get out of our region. It is dire right now for the Pac-12. And the dollar signs prove it. The dollars are going to the Southeastern Conference, to the Big Ten, and very soon the ACC most likely will be bringing in more dollars for its athletes, for its television contracts, for its coaches than the Pac-12. Even the top 2 West Coast quarterbacks in the 2022 class are slated to leave the Western region and the Pac-12. So this is a trend. This is an ongoing trend that the Pac-12 must stop. So will the Pac-12 be able to dust itself off and get off the canvas, put its gloves back on, and go toe-to-toe with the SEC? Only time will tell. And the recruiters better beat the SEC to the punch. These kids are already in your backyard. You better secure them, or else it may be lights out. I'm Coach Terrence Wood, and we will definitely see you at the top.